like physical fitness, is important.
Quite frozen in there.
Frozen? To a club. Now, in this video, we're going to talk about another very important topic, which is financial freedom and financial fitness. We talked about physical fitness, and in this video, we're going to talk about why financial fitness, like physical fitness, is important. However, never use it to hook up with women. Never use it. Never actually show off your financial fitness. The fact that you've got assets, you don't need to work for other people, you've got people working for you, you're a leader and all that. Though obviously is a real turn off for women because it's actually a qualifier as such. You'd never qualify on a woman, or very seldom do that. And if you actually pull that card, you're actually starting to qualify. So you don't qualify to women using your financial fitness. It's something that you use, like your physical fitness, as a point system. You're actually, once you get the woman, basically, number one, if you're really financially fit, it really helps your game as a baseline, because you've got that financial security. You know you've got your shit together, and nobody can really mess with you, including the woman, especially if you're in game. If you're giving women in cold approach, whatever you want to do it. So really, very likely it's going to help you anyway. There's nothing bad about it. So, but the point is, see whether I've got the chargers actually off there. So, but the point is, it's like physical fitness. You don't use it as a qualifier, but you use it indirectly. So throughout the gaming process, it will come out. I mean, by what you talk about, it will transpire from your conversation and whatnot, because you cannot really hide it voluntarily. It will transpire one way or another when she asks you about your work, or you're talking about your work. That's going to transpire in one way or another. But if you are financially fit, don't actually talk about that purposely. If it comes out, it comes out. It's a matter of time. It's going to come out at some point. But never qualify using that and using your financial fitness, because it's a turn off. And then those women who are actually going to hook up with you based on your financial fitness, I've got another agenda which I would not suggest to anyone who's got money, or who's got a business, or is financially fit, so to speak. But sends another honest signal, like physical fitness. It says, look, I've got my shit handled together. And then another thing in which I find extremely good, and many women who stay with me and still, after many years, still hang around, is also because of that. Not only the fact that I'm fit physically, but financially fit. But they never get the, other than one particular case, because we've been together for so many years, it's incredible, 15 and odd years, with one of my girlfriends. I'm very happy to help out and provide a bit. But in any other case, they know I can, but I don't, purposely. And I find this a huge turn on. A huge turn on.
I thought you were 26 or 27,
right.
at least.
Yeah.
I don't mean to,
No, that's alright.
but I'm sure you do get it quite often. Maybe because you're tall.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Yeah, you look quite frozen in there.
Frozen?
Frozen, yes, as if you're completely stiff. You look you're very nervous at the moment.
Oh, no, I just stand still a lot. I
But-
just stand very still.
Yeah. I mean, I've got this type of nervousness. Don't worry, I'm more nervous than you are. The thing is, see, the main difference between you and me is that you've got more a geeky job where you don't interact with people. That I have to interact with people all the time due to the nature of my business.
Yeah.
And I've done sales since, 2000 and...
There's a particular girlfriend who's, I really hope that she's got, I'll tell about that in another video, but who, despite the fact that she's hot, she could get any man she wants, and she could actually get a provider as well. I know it's a freaking stupid turn on for her, the fact that despite the fact that I can provide, I purposely deny any financial help at all. And I do it on purpose because I get personally turned off by women who I sense are actually with me in order to get money. It's a complete, my dick dies immediately as soon as I sense that. So it goes into death mode. So I don't even have to try. So it's something that comes out naturally. So as soon as I sense it, boom, my attraction goes. I prefer to wank instead of entertaining the woman. And that is a huge turn on in many cases. If it's a turn off, basically, in my opinion, you haven't lost anything. You actually move on because the woman wouldn't have not been interested in you sexually. It would have been interested in you only as a provider. There's another side story is I was in Colombia, and the hotel, whenever I see a woman or I'm mildly attractive, I've got to actually start a conversation at least. And I've seen this woman, mildly attractive, I'd say in almost her 40s, almost in the same age as me. And I start the conversation. Just said a couple of hellos, and then she invited me to sit next to her with her friend. And I started the usual stuff. And at some point in the, quite early on, she implied, well, if you want to hook up with me, you've got to splash out the money. I said, look at what you've got here. You've got to splash out your money, not me. I don't need that. Absolutely not. I've got women lined up. And then the funny thing is, she got it immediately. She was turned on. She turned out to be a hooker, a professional hooker. And funny enough, in the next few days, because she had an operation, vaginal operation, I don't know exactly, vaginal tightening or something of the sort. This is what high-end hookers get. She couldn't actually do anything with me at the point because she had an operation done recently in that area, so she couldn't actually do it. But obviously, I always have women around, even places like Colombia, where I actually don't live, because I just keep hammering it. So I think it was 2 days later, one of my girlfriends came over and she met her, and she got quite turned on by the fact that obviously I had another woman around there who obviously was hooking up with me. And then wait another 2 to 3 days, she found me with a freaking stunning 20-year-old having breakfast with me. Obviously, if she has breakfast with you in a hotel, something that must have gone on. And also, you tell really quickly whether a woman is a hooker or not, and she realised she wasn't a hooker either.
No, I've got, because I also remove tattoos as a business. I remember there's a video of it on the internet where I'm removing a smiley face.
Oh, yeah.
They've done it while the guy was drunk.
Oh, yeah.
They've done a very nice present.
That's so cool.
Yeah. Did any smiley face anywhere?
No, mine is literally artwork.
Oh, so you're a piece of art.
Yeah.
You're a bit presumptuous.
So it's quite, how can I put it? Financial fitness is very important. It gives you points like physical fitness. Check out the videos on physical fitness and why it gives you points. Don't use it ever as a qualifier to attract women, because it's a qualifier. If you actually bring it out, bang, you're very likely to lose attraction, genuine attraction. And then you may be put in the provider frame, so which you really want to, in my opinion, you want to avoid like the pest. Never be a provider. Absolutely not, in my opinion, but then if you want, you can do it. As I said, I've got my own exception. In one case, I'm a provider in one case only, but we're talking about a girlfriend that's been with me for now 15, 16 years. I can't even remember. It's actually the mother of one of my children. So it's obviously is a very different thing, and we've known each other for so long. I know she's not there for the cash, so that's a different thing. It's genuine what we've got going on, and she knows that. She knows about the way I am, as she's very jealous. But given the fact that I know that this is not really what she's interested in, and really it's not a problem. But it's something that I've realised after many years of hooking up with this particular girlfriend. We've been talking about 15, 16 years now. So that's the point. Financial fitness, very important. Like physical fitness, it gives you extra points. Never ever use it as a way to game. It's gonna all about financial fitness is like physical fitness. You have it, you don't really show it directly. Sooner or later it's gonna come up one way or another, and when it comes up indirectly, it's gonna give that extra spark of attraction. If and when she starts putting you, because it becomes that at the point there's a shit test. It starts to put you in a provider frame and then buy me this, buy me that. I'm saying, well, no. You just go get you go get it yourself. Go to work. This is what I do with one of my the girlfriends who's one of my girlfriends who keeps trying to do that. I keep actually say, well, you go get it yourself. Go make money. And she's quite a stunner. So she's always very puzzled about the fact that I never ever flinch on it. I don't freak it, because I just get completely uninterested as soon as that comes up. So that sort of test I pass all the time. So if and when she realises that you've got financial freedom and you're financially fit, she may not, depending on the woman, try to put you on the provider frame, try to say, well, buy me this, buy me that. Deny it, absolutely not. Actually make a point on having her to offer. I would actually do that, and I have done it. And then once she starts providing, then you provide back. Do it make sure this is what I do. I make sure it's quite a fair relationship. And so say, if we're going out on a dinner, then either we split, or is one time is me, other time is her paying for it.
Not too much, but a little bit.
So you're a sporty person.
Yeah, I like sport.
Yeah, I saw a bit of a belly there, but yeah, maybe.
A little bit.
And that really keeps the attraction going. But what I find more often than not is that they tend to do it voluntarily. They don't even go there. Pretty much maybe because I'm interested in women that are genuinely interested in me. Not as because of what I've got, because of me generally as an end product, so to speak, as an end human being, with everything that I've got going for me or against me. And this is what I normally find in my case, because I tend to get turned off immediately by gold diggers. Immediately, it's just that instant. It goes, in my case, it never worked. I mean, as soon as I sense a bit of gold digging, and the woman is there for a bit of providing, I've got a very interesting story, and I'll leave you with that. I was Strathclyde University. I think it was 24. I think it was Kazakhstan. Yeah, it was a Kazakh girl. We went out. I think it was a dinner. And then I think we went to a club. So I think, if I remember well, it was dinner. And obviously, as a student, I wasn't wealthy at all. So my parents were providing for me. So at the moment of the bill, I said, well, we'll split. I didn't notice anything at that time. But then I think we agreed to go on to a club. I think the entry fee was £10 at the time, if I remember well, roundabouts that, yeah. To me, £10 at the time was quite a bit of money. Now it's absolutely nothing, I don't care. So nowadays I do actually maybe provide it immediately for the first date, I don't care, but not at the time. And at the door, I just gave my own money, and then I kind of remember having that sort of moment where it was a bit awkward for her, not for me. I wouldn't have paid a dime anyway, because it was my parents' money, and I thought it wouldn't have been fair to my parents to provide for a girlfriend I wanted to hook up with. So I kind of felt it at that time, but I just didn't care, miserable. But okay. After I paid, I just waited there as she paid. Went to the club, nothing happened. We didn't actually hook up. I didn't do anything. I didn't actually bang. And then I think I've called her again for a second date or something. So she said very, very openly, she said, look, in my country, men, well, what happened last time, it was not good, because men provide. Men pay for the bills, for women's bills, and you didn't. I had to pay for my own bills. And therefore there's a turn off for me, and there's a no-go for me. This actually was very, very, very to the point, and I think it was the best thing. She could have done it. She could have done. Obviously she didn't like me enough, because when women like you enough, they don't really care at all. They really don't care about whether you're a provider or not. When it's on with you, that's it. I mean, it doesn't really matter. That's a very important lesson I've learned many times over and again. So when they like you, even if you don't provide it, they just stick around, and no matter what.
For Christmas, and then I'm going to be back again. I think, yeah, for a... No, I've got work to do, so that's the reason.
Then, and I said plainly, look, it's my parents that give me the money. I don't think it's fair to my parents that pay for my education to pay for your meal and your entertainment. It's very simple. I'm not self-sufficient yet. And to me, it was not a no-brainer. Absolutely, I wouldn't have I've took on a relationship of the sort even at that stage when I was in my early 20s, when I was 24, yes. 2004, I was 24. No regrets. And then, yeah, pretty much that ended there. But the funny thing is that later on then, I saw a Chinese girl, absolutely freaking big arse, absolutely love it. And I remember I was walking back to the university accommodation, walking back on, just in front of me, I saw this absolutely big round butt and a quite tiny waist. I absolutely loved it. And I said to myself, look, if that girl is actually getting into the university halls, I've got to open it. I'm going to open her. And then she actually was in front of me, because at the point I didn't have the guts to actually go wherever and open a girl that I liked on the street. I didn't have, I needed a pretext, and the fact that she would actually go into the university the university accommodation was a good pretext for me. So as soon as she got in, I just sped up, I ran after her and I opened her. Eyes lit up and exchanged numbers. She told me where she lived. I had their contact number. Asked immediately for a date, if I remember well. And then we went out for dinner. Ended up banging. Guess what? The same Kazakh girl was one of her flatmates. And it was quite funny to actually bang one of her flatmates, who turned up to be even hotter than herself. So absolutely amazing experience. I cannot forget that experience. I remember exactly, the world is very, very, very small here. Look at who I've got. The same Kazakh girl who said that she wouldn't hook up with me because of money. And then, yeah, I was banging her flatmate. Absolutely amazing. And with that particular one, I remember also this particular Chinese girl who was extremely hot. Another lesson that it taught me is that having a boyfriend is not excuse not to fuck. Because I remember exactly at the dinner date, we had a pizza, if I remember well, which I'm sure that we split 50-50. My policy at the time, because I couldn't actually, I didn't think it was fair for my parents to pay for me to take girls on dates. I think it was £10 at the time, if I remember well. It was a lot of money for me. And what happened was that she asked me whether I had a girlfriend. And at the time, I lied, because I always have girlfriends. I mean, it's a constant in my life. I always have women in my life. Had women in my life since I was, 23, 20, yeah. 23, I'd say. Since I was 23, I always had girls in my life, long-term relationship or someone around, always be banging someone, 100%. So she said, oh, do you have a girlfriend? I lied. I said no. And then I asked her the same question, do you have a boyfriend? I said, yes. And I remember with this Chinese girl, I just, oh, I'm so sorry. And then I remember very, very vividly, she's looked back at me and said, why are you sorry?
She's very beautiful.
Oh, you want to introduce me to your sister? Well, what was her character like? Is it like yours? Because
She's amazing, just like me.
Okay, well, maybe, we'll see. Well, she's her first time.
I work in August, so you can pop by in maybe later or tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow?
Yeah.
So I think it's better if we actually, I don't know this week, what day is it?
And I just clicked. That means we can bang. And yeah, we went back to her place, Kazakh girl in her flat. She rented one of the rooms. I mean, it was student accommodation. So she had her own room. The Kazakh had the same Kazakh girl who wanted me to be a provider had her own room. I remember meeting her in the hallway. It was absolutely so funny. And obviously other girls as well in the same flat. And I remember while we were banging, a picture of her boyfriend was there. I was literally banging her, and I was staring at her boyfriend's picture on a frame of a picture frame, and I thought at the point, never get married, never be faithful to a woman. I remember that, thinking exactly that, because obviously if she had her boyfriend's pictures there, obviously, yeah, it was quite interesting. It was quite a relationship, but still, I was the freaking stallion. Obviously hotter than the boyfriend, the supposed boy, because it wasn't good looking at all. Yeah, absolutely amazing story. So you got this quite story as well. So in this video, to wrap it up, financial fitness, extremely important. Do not use it as a qualifier. Don't provide for women, especially if you're an older man. If you're dating younger women, nowadays I do first date. There's nothing for me. I'll still go ahead and pay for the bill, but then the second one normally is either split or she pays for it. I don't particularly like this thing about being a provider, and it's not really taking anything anywhere. So yeah, I try to keep out of it whenever possible. So hopefully that was of interest. Once again, I'll repeat it again. Financial freedom, financial fitness, extremely important for your game overall. It's just like your physical fitness. However, do not use it as a qualifier. If you can afford it, don't put yourself or be placed into a provider frame as a shit test. So if it comes up as a shit test, buy me this, buy me that, no. If it's actually implicit that you would pay for the bill, nowadays what I do, but pretty much I normally pay, but let her know that it's not going to be the second time. That ain't going to happen. If she's interested, it's going to spark attraction even more. And make it fair, even if there is a huge difference between your wealth and her wealth. Make a point of that. And it's really going to pay you dividends. Financial freedom, financial fitness is like physical fitness. It's extremely important to your life, and it sends on signals that cannot be sent otherwise. So it gives you overall points. Like physical fitness, financial fitness, these two things, fitness, financial fitness and physical fitness, do not get the girls, do not get you the love of the women, do not get them attracted. However, if you've got game, it gives you plenty of points. They're going to be extremely attracted. If they like you, they're going to be extremely attracted to you quite quickly. So very, very important. Work on your financial fitness, financial freedom. Very important, like you work on your physical fitness.